with every moral fiber of our being. And to be honest with you, accountability is what carried me into the killing zone time and time again. We all need to be held accountable. And as I said earlier, it took me a long time after Afghanistan to realize what my purpose was. I needed accountability partners. And what I discovered is that my teammates never really left me. They're still here with me today. And I can never forget that when I look down at my wrist. My teammates still hold me accountable today. And every day that we don't take advantage of our freedom and live our lives to the fullest, we're doing nothing less than disgracing the guys who gave the ultimate sacrifice so that you and I could live ours. And all I can say is, I know I'm okay. I'm not okay with that. Are you? I mean, you got to ask yourself, what are you doing to be accountable in your life? Are you the best each and every day for the organization you're a part of? Jim Collins says in his book, Good to Great, that greatness is a conscious choice. Well, I don't want to accept being anything less than great. You see the commercials, the few, the proud, the Marines. No offense to other branches, but we truly believe that because we have a culture of discipline that dictates that we won't accept anything less than that. We hold each other accountable to this standard. And Jim Collins says that good is the enemy of great. I mean, think about that. Good is the enemy of great. Well, I will not accept being good. My teammates gave the best that day, and they were trying to be great for each and every one of us, and they paid the ultimate price for our freedom. I want to be great, and to accept anything less would be disappointing. I want to be great for the memory of the fallen, for you, for the students influenced by my scholarship initiative, and for my country and my community. I want to lead the way for Americans to stand up and change our level of mediocrity. You should never accept just being good, and I want to be your accountability partner. I am calling you into the accountability to be great. So I really hope that I've said something here today and touched you and motivated you. I hope that you stop looking at your life as situations and you start seizing the opportunities that are in front of you. The opportunity to realize your full human potential and to lead others to the exact same realization. Because it is my driving passion to see us rise to a level of accountability that ignites a fire in us all as Americans, a fire that will burn so bright that there is no mistaking that we live in the greatest country on the face of the planet. So why am I here? For those who gave all. That's why I'm here. Thank you, and Semper Fidelis. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, please be seated. We're a little tight on time, but that's okay. That was, if you didn't get a lot of lessons out of that one, and the hair on the back of your neck isn't standing at attention, and the goosebumps aren't up and down your arms, then I don't know where you're from, but you're not from anywhere where I'm from. So how about we got time for probably 2 or 3 good questions. Who wants to go first? Let's see if we have a midshipman first, and then if we don't, we'll default. Okay, Scott, go ahead. Wait, well, we got one right here. Go ahead, please. Sit next to me so I know you were illuminated.
Mr. Myer, what do you feel like is the most significant change you've made on other people's lives since you began touring around and speaking?
I hope to go out and educate them as far as what veterans do and the sacrifices that everyone, pays. I don't know. That's the thing. But I'll tell you what, everyone asks me, well, how long are you going to keep doing this? How long are you going to stay on the road about 25, 28 days a month? And I think I'm going to do it until I feel like I walk into a room and I can't say something that hits someone or makes them realize about their life. I mean, I'm 23. I don't really know much about life, but I can tell you what I do know about, and that's, I've had a lot of life experiences. But I just hope to make people realize that their life isn't as bad as it always seems. I mean, we can look at our life and feel sorry for ourselves, but at the end of the day, everyone in here has a situation, had something bad happen to them, and we're all still Americans, and we should be happy about that and be proud to be an American. That's what I hope that I can make people realize. So,
Scott, please.
Good afternoon.
Sir.
Thank you for your service, sacrifice, and for your inspirational words today. They were truly remarkable. One question I have is some of the men and women in this room ostensibly will be leading future generations of Marines, just like yourself. I was wondering if there were any advice or insights you could offer to them on the type of moral and ethical leadership that you expect from your leaders.
Definitely.
As a junior Marine?
No, definitely. The thing I always say is, number one, I would never want to be in. I would hate to be in your all shoes because, as an enlisted, we get ranks to learn to be leaders. You know what I mean? It's like we get PFC. Before we get up corporal and stuff, before we're leaders, we actually get a chance to be under and not be thrown into a leadership position. So I really envy you all and understand that, getting thrown into a leadership position of a platoon. I mean, that's, I wouldn't want to be in that situation any day. But I guess the thing that I always try to tell people is don't ever become too smart or become too high of a rank to listen to your lowest man. I hate saying this, but I will. I truly feel like that if the higher ranks would have listened to some of their lower guys, that I wouldn't be wearing a Medal of Honor. And that's truly how I feel. And so the day that you look at a Marine or you look at whoever it is below you, you look at them and you write off what they say to you, no matter how crazy it sounds, it's probably the day you should step down and evaluate yourself as a leader. And that's what I would probably give as my advice, hopefully, as being a leader and going out and leading guys.
And I would say that same advice applies to surface warfare officers. If you're in a squadron,
Yeah.
Navy SEAL does not matter. Warriors deserve and expect that kind of leadership.
Definitely.
Bill, yeah.
Yeah, have you been in touch with your recruiter, the guy who said you couldn't?
No, I haven't talked to him. I'd like to find that guy. I think he tricked me.
I think he's living in a shack in Wyoming somewhere. He's
Yeah.
on the ground. But,
No.
Mike, we have time for.
No more questions?
Oh, no, not yet. How about someone else over on the side? Yes, Chief.
Again, I want to thank you for your time, honor, and service. It's definitely an honor to be here and listen to your story. It's obvious that you have the attention of everyone in this room. However, I've only been stationed here for 6 months. One of my biggest challenges is applying my experiences to how the midshipmen can actually apply it in their daily lives right now.
Yeah.
A lot of times I get a glassed over look, or that's the salty chief just talking, or whatever. I would ask you, how can they apply it to their lives right now? Because right now the biggest thing they're combating is complacency, self-entitlement, and I've heard the word cynicism as well. So how can they apply that challenge to what they are doing and the great things that they're doing here on the Naval Academy Yard?
Well, what do you mean as far as self-entitlement? Like they feel like they're entitled to something?
These are just terms that I hear tossed around.
Yeah. I mean, as far as self-entitlement, you always got to remember there's someone always above you and's done more than you. You know what I mean? That's one thing. There's no matter how much you've done, or if you get a Medal of Honor, there's always somebody that's done more than you, and there's always somebody that probably needs more than you. I mean, you got to stay humble. You have to stay humble and understand who you are. I mean, I've received the Medal of Honor, and I feel like, I was with General Pace last night, and I'm still awed, and I still look, and I still see officers, I still respect them, I'm still an E5. That's what I got to. You're never entitled to anything, and you're never entitled another day. You're never entitled another minute. You're never entitled to anything. So I love that word entitlement, because to be honest with you, none of us in here are entitled to anything except respect, and respect for each other. And as far as complacency, complacency is simple. Complacency means that you're not challenging yourself enough and you're not changing your life up enough. The day that you get complacent is probably because you're not going out and doing as much as you're truly capable of doing. So if things are getting easy for you, well, then you're not challenging yourself enough. That's simple. And this is the way I always looked at it, because I got a little complacent when I came back from Iraq, and I thought I was salty, and whatever. I was a what do we call ourselves? I was a senior Marine. Okay, I've been in the Marine Corps for 2 years. I'm a senior Marine. Get out of here. So, but that's what we called ourselves, and we made we of course demanded respect. But I tell you what got me out of being complacent, and it's definitely what changed my attitude and what made me the Marine that I was, is I had a gunny come to me, and he told me, he said, who are you? You're a Lance Corporal. What are you? You drink every day and you walk around and you make other Lance Corporals who haven't deployed call you Lance Corporal. You're really something, aren't you? And I thought about it, and that's right. And I started challenging myself because, you know, if you don't go out, the day that you're it's like easy. You know, you start running 3 miles and that becomes easy, and you get complacent on it. If you don't run 4 miles, and if you don't do something every single day to make yourself better, because, I mean, no matter what your job is, somebody raise your hand in here if you're going in the military and tell me that you're never going to see combat. Exactly. You could be put in a situation to see combat. You know how many guys were on my team that were infantry or had trained to go see combat? 0. I was the only one, and they were all killed. They were all put in one of the worst ambushes in Afghanistan as far as a small arms battle. But as far as the complacency goes, back to that, you should wake up every single day and try to think of, what can I do to make myself be better if I ever get in a situation to where my best friend is dying and I'm at the maximum tired, I can't push on anymore, but I have to get them out. And if you don't go out every day and have that mindset, I'm going to tell you, the day that you get caught in that situation, it's going to be bad, because you're going to live the rest of your life wondering, well, maybe if I wouldn't have been complacent, maybe if I wasn't entitled to not have to run my mile today, or maybe if I wasn't this, and I would have went and ran another mile. If I'd done, you know, I'd went to the gym every day, or I hadn't skipped this or that, then I'm telling you that's the demons that I don't want to live with, and that's what kept me going. So that's what I would say. I hope that answers your question, Chief.
Okay, great. And I think we'll just based on the class schedule here, but you know, there's a sign over each of the camps inside of Iraq and Afghanistan, and it's very simple. It says complacency kills. Those who become complacent with their routine and don't, as Sergeant Myer just said, improve themselves on a daily basis, while your enemy is working harder, eventually you may be the king that week, but 2 months from now, you or your forces will pay for it. The second piece I would say, to wrap up entitlement, the only thing you're entitled to as an officer or a staff NCO or a non-commissioned officer, with each promotion you are entitled to serve larger numbers of warriors, men and women in uniform. That's the entitlement you should see. And the last point on accountability, which Sergeant Myer pounded the word accountability probably no less than 40 times coming down the home stretch. I'd ask each and every one of you to think of that word, and as I mentioned, a card for courage, honor, and commitment. Take another card, call it accountability. How do you hold yourself accountable? Not only for what you do, but more importantly, for what you don't do. You know, you're accountable for your lack of action just as much as you are for your actions.
And with accountability, I want to say one other thing. You know, I know the hardest thing for you to ever do is correct someone that up here. And if you see someone doing something wrong, if you don't hold them accountable or say something to them, you are just as at fault as they are, and you're not holding yourself accountable as well as them. So just remember that when you see something going on. So.
Wow, and you said it better than Confucius said. I think I gave it that lecture that day. Confucius says, knowing what's right and not doing it is the worst cowardice. Knowing what's right, not holding yourself accountable to take action, walk away. So Confucius would say, knowing what's right and not doing it is the worst cowardice. Sergeant Dakota Meyer would say, knowing what's right and not doing it, you're not a leader anyway. Exactly. So I don't know if I could grade you. But speaking of that, inside the box, which is empty. Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. What we have here is the honor, courage, and commitment. The Stockdale Leadership Center. It's a compass, and it's to exemplify the moral compass that you laid out here today, so that each and every one of us realizes if we ever get in a situation that you were in, hopefully we will be able to muster up the courage to move in the right direction, and second of all, maintain true north to the warriors who you called your brothers. So thank you very much. God bless you. How about another round of applause for